Hey guys, just a stretch I wanted to go over that I prescribed to some of the clients here at the studio. It's a great lower body stretch, ideally for our hips, definitely hamstrings, both sides of the hip joint, front and back side. It's something I use pretty much in all my lower body routines and warm-ups. There's many different variations of it. I'm going to try and take you guys from the most basic variation up to what I think is the most difficult for myself, flexibility wise and things like that. And I hope you guys find it useful. The stretch is called the Spiderman stretch. So if you've been a client here before, you've definitely heard me say that. You've definitely seen this stretch before. I'm going to show you from the side view first. And the most basic version we're going to go with is the kneeling Spiderman. All right, if you have an issue with knees already, you're going to want to get a little pad or maybe even a pillow at your house here. Secondly, we're going to get into a tabletop position. All right, so the starting position is going to be just like this here. We want those shoulders and arms in line so we're not putting tension in our neck and stuff. We don't want to hurt other things. Make sure our knees and hips are nice and in line here also. All right, I'm going to bring my one leg up and around towards my hands here. Okay, I'll show you what it's looking like. I'm going to try and be like this. Granted, this is a mobility exercise. You may not have that mobility right now. So if it looks something like this, okay, that's all right too. All right, so just get that foot up there as best you can. We're gonna keep those hands directly where they were underneath our body here. And all we're gonna try and do is push forward here. You can see my back is rounded a lot. I do feel a little bit of a stretch, but we want an optimal stretch through this hamstring here, the back side of this hip joint. And we're also gonna get a good front hip stretch on this right knee that's down. All right, so if I try and push forward and I find it difficult to, you can walk your hands out a little forward so they are underneath you, but ideally I'm using these back glute muscles, trying to drop my hips towards the floor here, as you can see, and keep my chest nice and tall, all right? Breathing while I'm doing this exercise here. For beginners, honestly, 20-30 seconds aside is great, all right? You don't want to bounce when you're in here. You want to just push, breathe a little bit. You can give yourself a little bit of a rest, and then try and go back into a nice push, all right? So 20-30 seconds aside, we're gonna go back here, nice and relaxing, making sure we're keeping up with our breathing, and we're gonna be switching sides here, all right? So this is what it looks like from the other side. I'm here, I'm feeling it a little bit, but to feel it more, I'm gonna push back on these hips, try and open up this hip here, drop that hip to the floor, and keep everything nice and tall on the front side, all right? Both hands down, again, 20 to 30 seconds on each side if you're just starting. If you're getting comfortable with it, the more the merrier, honestly, here, you know? You go about 3 sets, that's plenty, before a warm-up, before a workout. And if you want to hold it a little longer at the end, sometimes I use this in a workout as like a nice little active stretch. I'll switch sides a little bit quicker instead of holding it as long. But yeah, so this is the most basic version of the Spiderman that we use here at Prevention Performance. I'm going to show you some other advanced movements with it, a little bit of, progressions. So we're going to do the same movement. We're going to be up in the plank here though now. So this is more active than we were just doing before. So we're going to do very similar movement, nice high plank from the side here, you'll see. Hands are in line with the shoulders. I don't want to put that tension in there again. And it's the same thing here, bringing this foot up, dropping those hips. Here I'm getting a big stretch on this back straight leg here. Keeping my chest nice and tall. One thing I like to do, you'll notice my elbow is up here. I like to keep it up and try and almost drop it at that inseam of the other foot that's in front here. And you'll get a big stretch through that hip. And just breathe in here, keeping that chest tall, a little bit back and forth. You don't want to be bouncing like I mentioned earlier here. Breathing, and then we'll just switch sides here, all right? Nice and controlled, going to the other side here. Again, you want to start with the kneeling version first if you can't get this foot up here, all right? So then progress to this when we get there eventually. Pushing those hips through, keeping this leg nice and straight, really dropping that elbow, and making sure to breathe. All right, this is a great variation I like. So those are the 2 progressions that we have. There is another variation I will be showing later on to get more into that hamstring, more into the back side of that. But that's our Spiderman stretch here at Prevention and Performance Training. We are going to try and post some more tutorial videos here for you guys to refer back to, because that's one thing we want you doing is practicing what you practice here and also utilizing it outside of here, right? Because I know sometimes you're only here 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, and that's great that we're making the steps to get where we need to go, but sometimes it takes a little more than that. So it's really how bad do we want it, how hard are we willing to work, and that's what we're about here. All right, if you guys found this video useful, definitely subscribe to the channel because we will be posting a lot more throughout the year. I'm going to try weekly videos, definitely on tutorials. Hopefully get some ebooks and things really going for everyone. So let's stay positive. Let's have a great 2020. And if you're in Suffolk County, in the Holtsville, Holbrook area, we would love to have you down at the studio here and show you a thing or two. Thanks a lot, guys.